This is lesson 4 on Cantaloupe Island. In the previous lesson I talked about pentatonic scales, which could be used to improvise over the sequence. In this lesson I'm going to build on these scales and add some extra notes. I'm going to look at the scales of the Dorian mode and the Mixolydian mode and how they can be applied to this particular piece for improvisation. So the first chord is F minor 7, and in the last set of lessons I focused on the pentatonic scale. All I'm going to do is add a few extra notes, and now we have a 7-note scale, which is the Dorian scale on F. If you don't know what a Dorian scale is, go to my site www.jazzsnippets.com and you will find all those descriptions and gives you ideas about how to learn different modes. So check that out. So I'm going to move on. So that was the Dorian mode. Then we move to D flat 7, and we have a Mixolydian scale, which you can play. I've actually written a slightly different scale, but I thought I would talk about the Mixolydian scale because the Mixolydian scale is a major scale with the 7th flattened. So apart from the very penultimate note, it's exactly the same. However, to fit the kind of harmonic ideas that are in Cantaloupe Island and the fact that the previous chord is F minor, which has a G natural, we often play a Lydian dominant scale. So what you heard a minute ago when I said the Mixolydian is sometimes known as the dominant scale. So when you see something saying Lydian dominant, what it is, it's that scale, but also Lydian. And when we see the word Lydian, it's usually sharp 4. And again, anything you don't quite understand, I think you'll find more explanations and answers on my snippet site. So how does the Lydian sound? It's got a sharp 4. That's the sharp 4 instead of the normal 4th. So in that particular scale we had D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C flat or B as you like to call it, and then D flat. When I move to the final area, and we do have another set of chords right at the end, but they're the same as the first. So this is the third area, which is D minor 7. And I'm going to simply play a Dorian scale on D, which is D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And of course then we end up back on F minor, which is perfect for the Dorian scale. So that's some ideas for improvising over Cantaloupe Island. I've looked at pentatonic scales and also things like Dorian and Mixolydian scales. And if you're thinking, well, which should I use? The idea is variety and how you play them convincingly. So maybe an experienced pianist or an experienced jazz musician might play a few phrases from pentatonic scales, leaving the next chorus perhaps to introduce Dorian and Mixolydian type scales. So that sort of control that you have over the material in your improvisation is very important. In the next lesson I'm going to build even further on this and introduce you to blues scales that fit Cantaloupe Island.